Dave Chappelle says, hell no, I ain't gonna go. LGBTQ. Now, he's not angry with LGBTQ people. No, he's not. But he says it's wrong. Mr. Engineer, I think Dave made quite a statement the other day with respect to his position, because, you know, he was down at the Peppermint Lounge out there in Los Angeles the other day, and he said something about DaBaby, you know, this rapper named DaBaby, who said something about the LGBTQ people, because, and everybody goes down that road. The LGBTQ people want you to think everybody's gay. And this rapper named DaBaby said, someone told me that Netflix, which hosts a lot of Chappelle's stuff, that the LGBTQ company crowd was trying to get Netflix to dump Dave Chappelle. Dump him. If he don't bow down to our skirt and our zipper, dump him. Dump at Netflix. Netflix looked at the bottom line. Said, well, Dave Chappelle makes a lot of money for Netflix. We might have to go out of business if we get rid of Dave. We're going to get rid of the LGBT. So rather than Netflix getting rid of Dave Chappelle, they got rid of the LGBT community. And my hat's off to Netflix. Anyway, I thought he made a quite profound statement the other day, though, Dave Chappelle did. It says, our culture has accepted two huge lies. The first is that if you disagree with someone's lifestyle, you must fear or hate them. Now, I have to tell you, that one went like an arrow straight to my heart, because they call me a hate preacher, because I disagree with LGBTQ. I disagree, so they call me a hate preacher, right? You're a hate preacher. I don't agree with your, then they call me a homophobe. Homophobe. Now, the thing about these gay people is that they'll use the word homophobe or homophobic, right? They'll use that and they'll accept that, and Facebook will accept it, and everybody's happy. But they won't let you use the word homo by itself. They will give you a strike on Facebook and YouTube. If you just say homo, they're going to give you a strike. They say that's vulgar, that's ugly. But when you say homophobe, well, they've accepted that because it suits their purpose, because it says you are afraid of them. I ain't afraid of you or them. Anyway, so that's number one. They call me a hate preacher. I'm not a hate preacher, and I'm not a homophobic. I just don't agree. He said the second is that to love someone means you agree with everything they believe, say or do. Both are nonsense. You don't have to compromise convictions to be compassionate. Dave Chappelle. So thank you, Mr. Chappelle. I appreciate everything you've said and done. And I think Dave Chappelle probably figured, well, I've made it. I am who I am. If people want to hear me, they're going to come hear my jokes. But I can tell you this, there will be a large number of people, Chappelle. You will not be packing them in like you used to. I can tell you that right now. Now, there are going to be people, they're going to come hear you. They're going to be able to get over it, and they're going to give you a pass where they won't give Pastor Manning a pass. They're going to give you a pass, and they're going to come hear you anyway, mainly because of the way you talk, about black folk. You talk about black folk, black culture. It's funny. People like to hear somebody talking. Use the N-word. And Dave Chappelle used the N-word, like a diarrhea patient going to the bathroom. So they're going to come hear you, but not like you're going to, some of them are not, I will not be seen in a Dave Chappelle event. That's what they're going to do. And so they're going to lose a little bit. But I don't think Chappelle cares. I don't think he cares. And I won't blame him. I wouldn't care either. Because he's probably, well established, and he ain't about to beg nobody for no money or nothing, or attention for that matter. And there's not a whole lot of comics out there now that can really kind of make, stand up. That little short boy, what's that little short boy name? He don't like that. He was against the gays too. They wanted him to host the Oscars. What's that boy's name? They wanted him to host the Oscars, and Kevin Hart, yeah, they want him to host the Oscars, and then they looked in his background and discovered that he had said something against the gays, so they canceled him. And he said, he didn't back away from him. He said, heck with the Oscars and everybody else, I think the guy's funny. What's his name? Again, Kevin Hart, yeah. But I don't think he's funny as Chappelle. Guess what? You know, the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Y'all watch football? I don't. Las Vegas has a football team called the Raiders, right? And they had a coach, his name is John Gruden or something like that. Gruden, yeah. And Gruden had, you know, they dug back into his background of all the emails he sent to other people, just general chit-chatting and text message, and discovered some misogynistic. What does misogynistic mean? Anybody know? That he had made some misogynistic statements. He had made some racist statements. I don't know whether he used the N-word or not. This guy, John Gruden. You watch football? I don't watch football. Anyway, and he had made some statements that they were considered homophobic. So everybody out there, and everybody in the sports world was jumping up and down with their hair on fire because this man had said some statements years ago too, by the way, many, many moons ago. Same as it was Kevin Hart, that about homosexuals and about women in general. And Gruden said, rather than fighting with all y'all, I'm resigning. Give me my paycheck, give me my golden parachute. I'm out of here. Bam! Left him high and dry. But that's what it is. And, you can't even use the name of, the indigenous people of India. You can't use the Redskins no more. You can't use the Tomahawk no more. You can't use homosexual no more. Yeah, my God, they're taking all the fun out the game. That's what I think. And what I think is always right. Someone said that they're standing with Dave Chappelle. Don Lemon used to live in Harlem. He left. Used to be a block away from where I'm at right now. He left. And, he wasn't, they didn't welcome Don Lemon in Harlem. Don Lemon had a J-Fifth guy, male, right? Lover, Don Lemon. He used to live right over here on 124th Street, 123rd Street, and 8th Avenue, right? He had a townhouse and an apartment building. You can see it from my window if you look out the window. And they were lovers, right? Don and his lover were lovers. That's the way the story goes. They lived on Frederick Douglass Boulevard, right across from Harriet Tubman's statue. But Don Lemon said he had to go, 'cause the people in Harlem don't treat him with love, so they moved up on the Hudson River, not too far from the Sing Sing prison. But, Harlem did not welcome Don Lemon. Now, they got more LGBTQ people in Harlem per capita than they do in all the New York prisons. But Don left. And so I thought today I would just say this is National Coming Out Day for the LGBTQ couple. And I'm skirting around because I don't, my language used to be a lot raw than it is now. Say, Pastor, man, they even tame you. Yeah, but I told y'all earlier how, they gave 8.5 million of my views to some woman who ain't never had more than 5 friends in all her life. And they're doing it to me right now. Every day they do the same to Facebook. So I, said, you change your language or we're going to get rid of you altogether. So, I said, well,